excited. He's here. I know you guys have been asking, Lunic, when is the show coming? Who's going to be your first guest? Well, I worked really hard, and he is backstage. I've had the opportunity to hang out with this man, and he is really, really phenomenal. Now, he's one of my favorite actors, and he's very notable. He's actually the reason why the President of the United States actually watched the hit series on HBO. I hung out with him. I got an opportunity to find out who he really is behind the scenes and what he really does when he's not in front of the camera. Take a look.
That's right.
iamlunic.com is at the White House with Michael K. Williams and all his brothers, because this is what he called them. And this is a stoop where you fixed up, messed up, did all your stuff. And it feels really good to be back here. And how does it feel for them? Like every time you come back, it's sort of like like an embracing type of thing for you. Like I saw them, everybody embraced. Like did you tell them we were coming?
I mean, yeah, I don't really gotta kick it like that. It's like, yo, I'm coming through.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We know what it is. I'm coming home.
I want to know what a day like on this stoop is like. What's that like?
Oh man.
How much time you got on here?
Don't tell me everything y'all talked about. Just tell me one thing.
We had to sum it all up?
Yeah, if you have to sum it all up.
Wow.
Michael gets personal about his life and character, Omar Little, that he played on the hit series, The Wire.
I had to find some part of myself in Omar, and it wasn't his gangster ways, because everybody know Mike, and that's not me, but I did share his vulnerability.
Yeah, he was very vulnerable. Yeah,
he was vulnerable, he was fragile, and from his vulnerabilities, that's what made him so volatile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I connected with that essence of Omar, and that's what made him so real, you know what I mean, to me.
I followed Michael to see what his life is like when he's not in character.
Big fan, by the way.
Thank you, fam. I could identify with their struggles at their age, what they're going through, you know, because I've been there. So, you know, it's like, I feel like I'm just going around the way, like, you know what I'm saying, seeing the young homies and the homettes. You know, it's just it's like I get just as much from this as if they get anything from seeing me, I get more, probably more.
Giving back to the community and staying spiritually connected is one of many ways that Michael says helps him to stay grounded. Welcome to Steiner Studios. It's 6 a.m. in Brooklyn, New York, and we are behind the scenes, up close and personal, as Michael gets into his character, Chalky White of Boardwalk Empire.
Now it's game time, you feel me?
As promised, Michael K. Williams is here, everybody.
Yeah.
Ah, you look amazing.
Right back you, baby.
Mwah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a beautiful studio.
Oh, thank you so much. It's actually a loft. We're here in Newark, New Jersey, for those of you that are watching the show. This is actually our first show, Michael.
Oh, wow. I feel honored. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. First time, first person on the stage. First person to sit in that chair. I did all this for you.
Nah, I ain't do this for real.
I did. You look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I know you get a lot of compliments about your skin.
Yeah.
Your skin is like flawless. It's like butter.
I get it from my mom.
You get it from me? You know, a lot of people think you're from Newark. Why is that? You're originally from?
You know, I own Newark. I call Newark like my second home. Did a lot of growing up out here, but I'm born and raised in East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Oh, so you're from BK?
No doubt.
So you're from Brooklyn?
All day.
Biggie?
Yeah, Biggie, Jay-Z, Lil Kim, not Common, excuse me. Although he lives in Brooklyn now, but the list goes on and on and on.
So you like hip hop?
I love hip hop.
I heard you're a huge fan of hip hop.
I consider myself a hip hop actor, if you will.
Yeah? Why is that? Why do you say that?
Because of the roles that I've been chosen to play. You know, they speak for my community.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
It's a culture, it's a lifestyle, not just the music.
So let me ask you this. If someone would have told you 20-some-odd years ago that you would be walking down the street or turn on the television and there you were, and that people would be running down the street asking you for your autograph, would you have believed that?
Never in a million years. Never in a million years. I mean, you know, when I got into the entertainment field, it was just, you know, I had never locked into anything before except getting into trouble. So when I started dancing, it wasn't about the money or the fame. It was it just held my attention.
Okay.
I appreciated the process. I loved the long hours of rehearsals and what it took, and creating a piece and working with other dancers. And I kind of take that love for the process with me in my career. So this just started out as like, you know, something I just like to do. You know, of course I'd hoped to one day make money, but had you told me that I would be here today talking to a lovely lady like yourself on her first talk show, you know, I would probably have never believed it.
I'm truly honored. Now, I know you did a lot of dancing. Who are some of the people that you danced for?
I dance for mostly house music acts.
Okay. Anybody I know?
Yeah, I'm gonna date myself right now. CeCe Penningston,
Okay.
Technotronics.
Now, were you like a real dancer, a leotard dancer, or were you like a cardboard Brooklyn street?
I was neither. I was just a plain old hack.
Okay.
You know,
What's a plain old hack?
I never trained. I
Okay,
didn't,
so you had no formal training.
no
of dancing.
training. Whether I was a break dancer, because they have their training and they're very technical in their right. Same as a ballet or jazz dancer.
Okay.
And I had neither. I was just a hack. I was a club kid.
Okay.
And I watched and I was like, oh, I like that step.
Okay.
And I like that step.
Okay.
And if I put them together, I got races.
I got me a routine.
Got me a routine.
So what made you? Did you decide to like? Did you go out and audition for stuff, or because?
Absolutely.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Who was the first? Like, what was your first dancing gig? Do you remember?
My first dancing gig was a young lady from Chicago. Her name is Kim Sims.
Okay.
She had a hit record out called Too Blind to See It, crossed over. And how I got that job was my dance partner at the time was a brother from Brooklyn, Chad Brown. He had all if Keith Williams didn't have the jobs, then Darren Henson had the jobs. Darren Henson, as you all may know, is from Soul Food. He wanted to become a very, phenomenal actor himself. I followed in his footsteps, actually. And if Darren Henson didn't have it, Chad Brown had the gigs.
Right.
So all us dancers kind of gravitated to be in one of those camps, and Chad took me under his belt.
Okay.
So at the time, he was with CeCe Penningston, Kim Sims, and this other young lady, I forget her name, but she made that song, You Got to Show Me Love.
I know that
And
song.
what happened was Kim and CeCe had a show the same weekend. And he was like for like a year, I had been training, learning his routines, and saying just kind of in the wings, waiting for my chance.
Right.
And this weekend was that, and he was like, Mike, I got 2 gigs, I can't do both. I'm going with CeCe, you take Kim.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody believed in you.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody gave you a chance.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about this, the meeting. Like, how did you meet the late great Tupac Shakur?
I met the late great Tupac Shakur on a movie set. You know, the 90s was a time where it's in New York, if the right music video could make you a star.
Right.
So everybody was walking up and down Broadway, like I'm a dancer, I'm a model, I'm an actor, I'm a singer.
So it's like mini LA.
No, it was New York.
Okay.
It was just New York. It was
Okay.
that we had a certain swagger. It was like none other, and the culture, it was just like, so Broadway was the strip where everything was going down, the auditions and what have you. And I had a few music videos under my belt.
Oh, already.
So,
Okay.
your Polaroid was laying around in various production companies.
Did you do like headshots and all of that stuff, or was it?
Did I have headshots at the time? I don't even think I had a headshot. I mean,
That's
I
pretty
think
good.
I did have a headshot, but it was
Not a professional one.
no, it was kind of corny. You know what I mean?
It's like a Polaroid.
Yeah, it was. That Polaroid was it. You
Okay.
go, they put you up against the wall and take your picture. Next, and call you if they like you.
Okay.
And Tupac had seen this Polaroid of me, and he could see the scar on my face. And I hated Polaroids because I was
So
dark.
wait, the scar was before your first gig? Or
Yeah.
after? Oh, really?
The scar
Okay.
came real early on in my career, period.
Okay.
I started, even before my career started as a dancer, I dabbled in modeling, and
I can see that.
yeah. This was pre-Tyson Beckford
Okay.
days. Let me go on record with that, because he
He shut
changed
it
the
down.
game.
Yeah, he changed the game.
He changed the
Absolutely.
game. That's my
Absolutely.
brother.
Okay.
So I did a little local things, and I had landed a gig at this company, and they used to make the tour jackets. It was called Rock Embassy. And they used to make the tour jackets for various recording artists that went on tour. And I had got the gig to be their spokesperson. And that hit the newsstands, went right on magazine, Hype Head, and all that stuff. And that hit 1 week, and the very next week. Was
that Word magazine too?
Word Up magazine. I was in all of them.
Okay.
And the week that hit the newsstands, the very next week, I got cut in my face. So that kind of changed the dynamic. I was already doing my dancing a little bit, was working on my little skills.
What was that like for you? What was that experience? Did you think that was a damper on your career, or? I
thought it was probably the end of my modeling career, but I was like, I didn't lock in too much as, you know, oh, my life is over, or, well, that's it. You know, I was back in rehearsals, dance studios, with the stitches still in my face.
Wow. So that's dedication. That's true artistry. Okay.
It's just, you know, just like, well, keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so by the time I had started doing these music videos, I was already cutting my face. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna gravitate more to dancing.
How did the cut happen?
Ballroom Brawl, 25th birthday.
Your birthday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
You know, Zig when I should have zagged, Bob when I should have weaved. I got to get back to my Pac story, because I'm very proud of this.
Okay.
So it was a time, I said, you know, the right music video was, you know, you get discovered.
Right.
And Pac saw a Polaroid of me and said, go
Where
find.
Where did he see the?
It was at the production office. He was shooting a movie called Bullet with Mickey Rourke in New York City.
Yep.
And he saw the picture and was like, this dude looks thugged out enough to play my little brother.
Yes.
Go find him.
Right.
And they found me, and I came in and I auditioned, and that's how I got to play High Top in Bullet.
Were you a fan of Tupac's at the time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you listened to his music. So, I mean, what did you feel? Like, how were you feeling when you heard that? Like, what was that like for you?
I was in awe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a larger than life kind of dude, so I was very nervous around him. I said very little. I listened a lot. He was very animated. He had a bunch of stories that he would tell you, and you know, I watched him even when he wasn't talking to me. I would watch how he interacted with the directors and the crew, and I learned a lot. What I learned from watching him on set and how he conducted himself, I still use that today. Like, you know, the director had a habit of calling him to set while they were still setting up the shot. Okay. And you have second team for that.
Right.
And he would be like, you know, he said, don't call me to set unless you're ready, because when I come to set, I'm in character.
I'm in character, okay.
And, you know, you kind of mess up my flow. So on the third time that happened, you know, he went off on him. And he was like, I told you, don't call me no more.
Okay.
And so he stormed up the set.
He was like a really take charge type of person, too.
Very take charge.
Yeah, he was very serious about his career, his life, everything he spoke about.
Yeah. So he stormed off the set. And I looked at the director and I was like, you heard what he said? You know what I'm saying? I popped off and went to my little corner.
That's right, and that's what got me on the set.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I learned, I learned, you know, that was the first time I heard coming to the set in character, learning how to speak up for yourself, learning how to tell a director what you need so you can perform the best.
Gotcha.
And I still use that today.
And you do a really good job at it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we'll talk more with Michael, with all the many roles he's played, including his role on Boardwalk Empire. And you're also doing some producing, right?
Correct.
Producing on Snow on the
Bluff. Yeah.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. We'll take a break.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Distinct 89, 89 Market Street, located in the heart of Newark, New Jersey.
And we are back. We're still here with Michael K. Williams. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Okay, so before we went to break, we were talking about how you got started and how you met Tupac Shakur, and now you're doing some phenomenal things. You've played a lot of wonderful characters. Your character, Omar on The Wire, had me glued to the television. I was always rooting for your character. Now, how did you land that role, and why was that so important for you to play?
I landed. There's no big story to how I landed the role. It was just a basic audition at Alexa Fogel's office. I went in and put myself on tape, and that was that. why it was so important for me to land that role, because I felt like my life depended on it.
Okay, because that's a different kind of paycheck than a dancing paycheck, right?
No, it wasn't about the paycheck.
Okay.
I was searching.
Okay.
I was at a crossroads in my life. I didn't know where I was going, what direction I was going in. You know, I had took 2 years off.
Really?
From the business. Yeah, things, you know, weren't going right. The phone had stopped ringing, you know, after I had a major guest starring role credit from Law and Order. I had a Sopranos credit, and then I had a Martin Scorsese credit, Bringing Out the Dead.
Yep.
So I thought that I had arrived. And the phones
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Thought you arrived.
The reality of the fact is the phones went dead for the whole 99. And so I got real desperate, bitter. Okay. And so, you know, thank God my mother.
Did you doubt yourself at all?
Oh, extremely doubtful of myself. And my mom, thank God, she had a daycare center in the projects. She opened up this daycare center, and it did pretty well. And so 2000, going into 2000, she was like, you know, Mike, you know, toasting over drinks. She was like, listen, son, you might as well come and work for me in the daycare. I mean, I'm paying your rent anyway. You might as well earn this money.
Okay.
And I was like,
wait a minute.
You know, you got a point there, Ma. And I did that. I left.
Okay.
I took myself off the grid, and I worked at my mom's daycare for 2 years, all 2000 and the 3/4 of 2001. And it wasn't until, you know, like I was sitting in my crib, you know, some friends over there, we was drinking and getting high, and I had the TV on mute, but the music was blaring.
Okay.
And I think the Sopranos episode came on, and I was like, what am I doing over there and sitting here?
I should be on
over there, you know, on television, show. On that, which is more of that.
Right. Yes.
And so, you know,
that's a great show. That was.
It was just, it felt like
I
was wasting. I was not doing something right in my life.
Okay.
You know, and this is also, although I was happy to be working with my mother and she was paying me to do what I was doing for her, I wasn't happy, you know,
the love
personally.
you had for your art.
Yeah, that. I was also, I was reckless, you know, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. I was definitely not dealing properly. I didn't process the whole 9/11 thing properly. So I had slipped into a depression actually behind that, you know, because, you know, the smell.
Was it because the phone stopped?
No, this is like, no, this is a combination of things.
Of everything, okay.
You know, I just felt really beat up, you know, and then like 9/11 didn't help any, you know, I just felt like everything was just coming to a crash. I just didn't know where I was going, where my life was going to end up, and I was I was angry, I was frustrated, and you know, and I was getting high a lot.
Okay.
You know, so those things just made for a disaster. So I went back, I said, okay, Ma, you know, I'm gonna try.
Did your mom know about the drugs?
Hell yeah,
okay.
Yeah, she knew. You know, I said, Ma, I think I need to try the entertainment thing one more time. I just felt like, as I remember, I was always happiest when I was doing some form of entertainment.
Right.
So I said, Ma, I think I need to give this a try because I knew I was gonna end up dead had I kept on with this lifestyle.
Yep.
So I put this whole big package together. I borrowed all this money from her, and you know, I put together this DVD reel, and you know, just way over the top. And I gave them out for Christmas presents. I had this hit list of 10 people.
Wow.
Kedar Massenberg, Queen Latifah, Jackie Brown Carmen, Jimmy Roseman, aka Jimmy Henchman. And I sent out 10 of them. I can't remember everybody, but it was like, okay, I said, I'm gonna get a call.
Somebody's gonna call.
Somebody gonna call me like around right after the second week of January.
You had it all figured out?
I had it all figured out.
Okay, in the midst of all of this?
In the midst of all of this.
The darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reality of the fact is that phone didn't ring, so by February, I felt I was more depressed than what I was before.
Wow.
And it was really, I was very self-destructive. And that's when I got the call. Mom's called me, she said, yo, come downstairs, you got a fax. And I was like, I got a fax?
A fax?
Yeah,
I was waiting for a call.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
A fax.
I went downstairs, and that was the first time I met Omar. Omar Little was on that fax.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So that role was a role that you played. You did a phenomenal job. You know, because that doesn't. When I saw you walking down the street with a trench coat on, sawed-off shotgun in broad daylight, people
with his boyfriend.
With his boyfriend. With his boyfriend in broad daylight.
Yeah.
You know, and you hear the whispers, and you were like the hood, Robin Hood, would you say? I
mean, that's what people have called him. Yeah, the Robin Hood of the hood. Mm-hmm. You know, he had a lot of great characteristics that I loved. You know, the fact he didn't curse, he didn't use drugs, he didn't sell drugs. He didn't rob the local convenience store. Right. He wasn't breaking in your house.
Right.
You know, he was on them corners. You know, checking them dope boys.
Right.
And I was like, it just seemed to. That was so ironic to me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you got a lot of backlash from playing that role, or do you think that people kind of like saluted you and?
I think Omar has done pretty good by me. I'm very grateful for what he's done for me professionally in my career.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for that character.
Okay.
I'm still riding the wave of the wire.
Of course. But now you're on the hit series Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
That feels good.
That's
you know?
an amazing character that you play.
It's an amazing character. It's an amazing cast.
Yes.
You know, I didn't think lightning could strike twice in the same place. But coming from the wire and going to Boardwalk, it really did. You know,
that's a great look for you.
It's a great look, man. And the reason why I feel so grateful to have these two shows is not because, you know, they're critically acclaimed, but it's for the caliber of people that I've been blessed to be surrounded by. Like, me and my castmates from The Wire, we're family. We still speak. Like, Sonia Song and I speak every week. Felicia Pearson and I speak every week. Jamie Hector and I speak every week.
Cool is that?
We're family.
That's
and when you get 5 more Wire cast members in a room, we shut it down.
Very nice.
You know, so to go from that and to be surrounded by Steve Buscemi, Michael Shannon, Michael Pitt, Michael Stuhlberg, you know, it's Terry Winter, Tim Van Patten. It's like a boys club. Yeah. You know, and we get together, we giggle, we laugh on set. You know, and I say, man, you know, this is why I feel blessed, because I believe that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yes, I believe that too.
You know, you're spending 12 and 13, 14, 15 hours a day. It's imperative that you love the people you work with. Everybody gets along, no egos, and everybody's about the work.
Right.
And I've gotten that back to back.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what is this producing thing that you're doing? Is that the next thing in your career? Did you know that you would do this, or how did that happen?
I always knew I wanted to produce.
You're in a director's chair. Will you be directing one day?
No.
No? Okay. No. So producing?
Producing. I knew I wanted to produce before The Wire. Okay. That was also one of the things I did when I borrowed all that money from my mother that I'm still paying.
Trying to pay back.
Yeah. I knew to start a production company.
Okay.
So she actually helped me name it. Freedom Productions, which means to free your mind, freedom. And you know, I remember like early on when I would sit down with Jimmy Hinchman, and we would talk about, and I would be like, you know, Jimmy, you know, I could do it all, man. I could choreograph your acts. I could be in your movies. I can even help you produce your movies one of these days. I was like, I could do it all, man. Just manage me. You know, and we talk about the day, possibly one day we could become producing partners and stuff like that. So, you know, I had a vision. I said, you know, 2 things I knew. I knew to start a production company, and I knew to tell the stories that I knew. I knew to keep it familiar. So I started going around my neighborhood and interviewing people, because I was going to put together a TV series for television, for TV. This is before The Wire, before I even heard about The Wire. I got so much flack because people thought that when I booked The Wire, that was my show, and I had forgot about them. I didn't, you know, like that's messed up, man.
Yeah, you ain't never coming back.
He took our stories, and you're gonna make this HBO show. You're gonna put us down.
Right,
and
of course.
People thought that.
There's a lot of people riding on that. Like a lot of people depend on you to come back and bring them in.
Oh yeah, I believe that the gift is not
For you.
Getting out. For me, the gift, the trick is not getting out, being able to get out. The trick is being welcomed back.
That's right.
You know, that's for me. That's the gift. When you're able to come back and still be accepted in your community. People still see you and love you and root for you.
Yep, and that community you took me back to in Newark on Isabella Avenue.
Yeah.
You know, where those guys embraced you. And
that's why people think I'm from Jersey, because, you know, the love I got, man, from as they call it, Hooterville,
right.
Valsburg section.
Right.
You know, Isabella, man, my Isabella fellas, I love them to death. They took care of me.
They're some great guys.
Yeah, they are my brothers, man.
So when we come back, we're going to talk more about that. When we come back, we're going to talk to Michael about charity work, some spirituality, and MKW, Making Kids Win. When we come back, don't touch that dial.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Papillon 25, located at 25 Valley Street, South Orange, New Jersey.
And we are still here with Michael K. Williams. So before we went to break, we were talking about you doing some producing. Can we talk a little bit about that project?
Sure can.
Okay, so why did you decide that you were going to do producing, and why this project?
I wanted to produce because I want to tell the stories that I want to tell, and I want to work with the people that I want to work with. And most importantly, I want to create opportunities for people like myself coming up in the hood that I deem as talented, that not necessarily would get the same opportunities that I've been given. I want to give back what Tupac gave to me.
Nice.
Yeah. So you know, which is why I decided to work to have something like Snow on the Bluff be my first effort out.
A lot of people don't know what Snow on the Bluff is. Can you tell us a little bit?
Snow on the Bluff is basically found footage, what they call it. It takes place in Atlanta, this area called the Bluff, and it's the star of the movie is a gentleman by the name of Curtis Snow, and you can't tell if this is, well, there are no actors in the movie, but you can't tell if what you're watching is real, or if it's not. I call it Blair Witch Project meets the hood.
The hood, okay.
And more importantly, why I thought it would be an interesting story to tell, because you know, The Wire, although it was based on real events, it was lights, camera, action. Whereas this is straight, real, raw. Okay. And we were able to put it in a form where it can be looked at as entertaining, but at the same time revealing as what's going on in our streets, in our cities, in our country. And people are hurting in the Bluff. You know, there's kids out there, there's a community out there, there's families out there. You know, it's a lot of love. You know, a lot of dysfunctionalism, but there's also a lot of love. Right. And I would hope that the powers that be would look at this movie and not feel disconnected. Right. You know, I believe in the concept of we're all connected. And if these people are hurting here in the Bluff, how can you be in Beverly Hills, you know, feeling like everything is just all right and rosy? You know, so it's just a raw inside look as to what's happening on our streets of America. Okay,
very nice. What made you decide to do MKW, Making Kids Win? That's the name of your...
MKW, Making Kids Win. The reason why I decided to do that was a lot of the same reasons why I have my production company. You know, I don't know what it is, but I see differently. You know, I just see things differently. You know, I walk through the hood and where most people will see sadness or, you know, just filth, I see art. I see potential. I see fire and passion. You know, hunger,
thirst,
and I you know, I see me. Right. You know, so it was. Me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you know, MKW, the idea started with me spending time in Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey. You know, all these kids, these bright spirits, man, and just all this raw potential, just no direction. Right. You know, just lost. Lost, man. Like, you know, I could relate to that, being lost. Right. You know, and having potential. You know, so I just want to create a venue. I call it the gray part of the day, that after school, on the way home, where most of the trouble happens for youth. Yeah. I want to create a safe haven where they can go and exercise that energy. You know, kids are like batteries. So more like community centers. It's a community center. Okay. I'm sorry, exactly what I'm building, our community centers. Okay. You know, my only 3 cardinal rules are no drugs, no violence, no video games. What about gangs? gangs, gang members are welcome.
Okay.
But no violence on my turf.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you know.
No throwing up gang signs while they're...
No. You know, Jawi inspired me. My brother Jawi, who's also from Newark, you know, he got the Bloods and the Crips to play basketball together. So that gave me inspiration.
He's a great person.
Yes, that's my brother, man. I love him.
He's very good.
So he's definitely going to be one of the staples in my community center here. I'm going to have people who are geared and speak the language and put them in different aspects of the community center.
Right.
But it's just a safe house for people to come exercise that energy.
So the first one's going to be where?
In Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey.
The second one's going to be in East Baltimore, and the third one's going to be in Brownsville, Brooklyn. You know, we're a long ways off. I'm still knee deep in paperwork with the 50C license, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I'm very hopeful that it'll all be worked out by the end of this year.
Okay. So do you find that, like a lot of kids, is it more geared towards younger children, like high school? Is it
It's geared
male,
towards
female?
Male, female,
and because Newark really needs that.
It's male, female, and the oldest would be a high school student.
Okay.
The youngest would be like maybe elementary to middle school, and I just want to create a safe haven, man. And if you know. Although my doors, I will never turn no one away from my doors. Okay. Everybody's welcome, you know, because everybody needs a chance. But
because somebody gave you a chance.
A chance, right?
Okay.
But my primary goal is to catch the kid who has not been touched by the streets yet.
Okay. Why is that?
You know, me being a knucklehead and just doing things wrong growing up. I find that a lot of all I really wanted was attention.
Like everybody.
Like everybody, I wanted attention. So you know, I did things, I acted out to get attention or to get love. You know, and you know, a lot of attention went to me trying to help me save my life.
Right.
Whereas you know, my friend who did everything right, who never got in trouble. You know, kind of like, you know, they get a little like washed away, and you know, with the dishwater, with the bath water, you know, because it's kind of oh, they're gonna be all right.
They'll be all right.
We gotta help Mike.
Yep.
And so I want to balance out that energy. Of course, I'm not turning my doors away. I'll never turn no one away from my doors as long as you follow my rules.
Okay. Are you gonna be like hands-on with this?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
But at the same token, my primary purpose is to uplift the kid who's already on the right track. Right. Me personally, what I see is we have a habit of not celebrating our kids who are doing the right thing enough. Right. Enough. Right. You know, so I want to celebrate them and reinforce what they're already doing. Right. And hopefully, you know, because not all good kids are good and not all bad kids are bad. Right. So we want to try to like get, you know, mix up that energy, and you know, some of them what we would deem as bad kids probably have a certain characteristic that a kid who's great in math or academics might could use. You know, and just balance out the playing field. But everyone is welcome. Right. Boys, girls. The oldest is going to be high school kids. The youngest being like elementary school kids. And I don't, you know, just no fighting, no violence, no drugs, no video games. Those are my only 3 rules. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have we're gonna do a gang violence squashing, gang beef squashing, where it's like no police or, you know, like, you know, no cameras or nothing. And when there's beefs in the neighborhood, we can get to it before the blood gets shed. Okay. We bring them in and let them hash it out. And I mean, if it's something where, okay, put the gloves on and take it to and let them box it out, that's what it's gonna be. Okay. But the deal is, if you come to us, we will create a safe haven. I'm gonna have brothers like Jawi and hopefully Tretch, you know what I'm saying, that can come in and be mediators to balance out what's going on. But the goal is you've got to come to us before the crime has been committed. Okay. Because we can't, you know what I'm saying?
Dealing with that, okay.
Yeah. And you know, gun buybacks, things of that nature. I got the support of the what's the sister's
city?
name? Yeah, the police commissioner
Of Newark.
She's the first black female.
Her name is the one with the curly hair.
Yeah, she's
oh, God,
sweetheart,
what's her
man.
name?
I'm really
She's
man,
good
I'm
friends with
like,
Pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get the mayor in on this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Booker is definitely on board with this. He gave me the support of his entire office.
Okay.
So these are the things I want to do in the community, and like, it's going to be a place where you never know who's going to be there.
Okay.
Like, I want to be like, that's going to be the law, because, you know, like, you never know, someday you might walk up in there and no advertisement, no cameras, but, you know, Carmelo Anthony might be in there balling with some of the kids.
Right, okay. So you'll bring like the celebrity aspect of it to kind of help them out, but nobody will know, okay.
It's going to be a thing where
I'm coming.
You never know who Michael's going to have at the community center, so we want to be there because we don't want to miss nothing.
Okay, very nice. Now, a lot of people don't know that you're a very spiritual person. Not very religious, but very spiritual. Yeah. Is that correct to say? Yeah. So your spirituality, you know, some people call the creator, the God, a spook in the sky. What do you call him?
God.
You call him God?
Plain and simple.
Okay.
God. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay, and you're in church a lot.
Yeah, I go as much as I can.
Would you say that played a really huge role in you, you know, getting your life back on track? And
yeah, for me it did. You know, I can't, you know, I don't force my beliefs on nobody, but for me, the amount of stuff that I was doing in the street, you know, I should have been dead a long time ago. You know, this, you know, people see this scar on my face, but no one noticed that I have the other one that stops at my jugular. Same fight. You know, I could have very easily been in 6 feet under a long time ago. The amount of drugs that I've done, the amount of gun, violent scenarios I've been in, not at my hands, but just wrong place, wrong time. Right. Because we all know bullets don't got no name.
That's right.
So, you know, the amount of things, the car crashes, the driving drunk, you know.
So you owe all that to
there had to be something looking out for me. You know, you can't
so would you say like you know, like you feel like you have a greater purpose?
I mean, yeah, I feel like, you know, I've been saved not because, you know, the whole entertainment thing and sitting and talking with a lovely lady like yourself, these are just added pleasures, but or icing on the cake.
Okay.
But the cake is the fact that I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to be alive and to be healthy and to be free.
Yep.
You know, I'm at a great place in my life, at a time in my life where I can be a father to my kids.
Right.
You know, and just look in the mirror and like who I see, because it was a long road to get there.
To get there.
So the fact that, you know, I've been given a platform, it's humbling, you know, for me.
You're actually a very humbling person. You know, a lot of people didn't think that you were approachable, because when I decided to do this show, you know, I said it, I put it out there in the atmosphere, and my whole production company, I was like, I want Michael K. Williams to be my first guest, and everybody was looking at me like, what are you talking about? How are you going to get him on the show? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm putting it out there, and that's what I wanted, and here you are today.
It don't take much. I'm an easy dude.
You've been a really wonderful guest.
But you know, I just I believe in you get what you give. You know, and when I heard that, you know, you was a sister, you know, out here in Newark that put the work in, and that has, you know, rose to the occasion. Now you have your own platform, and the type of and the research that you did. It wasn't about the lifestyle piece that you did on me. It made me realize the type of person that you are. You wasn't interested in the glitz and the glam of Hollywood, the part of my life. You want to get to know me, and that touched me. And so I would hope that I feel this is getting back to purpose, which you spoke about earlier, is, you know, I believe that the reason I've been given this platform is for me to tell my story. Yes. So that someone will hear it, and maybe their lives would be changed, or just know they're not alone. And I don't claim to be no one's savior. I'm not trying. I don't think I'm nobody's guru. I don't think I'm no role model. I made a lot of mistakes, and so I've been spared a lot of heartache from the mistakes, the bad choices that I've made. So I believe that it had to have been a higher power, God, that looked out for me. Just for me. Just for you. About me. Right. I can't speak for nobody else. So I feel that my deal with God is to tell my testimony. If you just tell my story, where I've been, you know, and connect with people. Don't forget where I come from.
Right.
You know, stay focused. Don't get it twisted. There's no turning back. I turn to salt if I turn back.
Right.
But don't forget where I come from. And you know, if me telling on myself and telling some of the places I've been delivered from, if that helps to save one person's life or help someone to identify with themselves or to find themselves, then my job has been done.
I think your job's been done, and I'm glad your life has been spared.
I'm glad too.
Michael, you've been a wonderful guest. I want to thank you so much for being my first guest, the first person to actually grace the stage, first person to actually take the seat. Thank you so much. You've been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's our show, everybody. Michael K. Williams, as promised. Now, this is our very first show, like I said to you guys earlier on. You're watching iamlunic.com. Of course, I'm your host, Lunic. And of course, I want to give a special thank you to my entire production team for making the show happen today. And of course, a special thank you to Distinct 89, located at 89 Market Street, right here in the heart of Newark, New Jersey, for allowing us this beautiful studio. And you guys can come do some shopping. If you guys like what I'm wearing today, you can find it right here. You guys can follow us on Facebook. You guys can follow us on Twitter. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the website. We'll give you pictures and Instagram and all of that social media stuff. Again, I'm your host, Lunic. Thank you for watching iamlunic.com. Until the next time.